You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
All right, you guys. Salute everybody tapping on in, man. Hopefully y'all doing well. And let's get right into it, man. Because this guy, man, the stuff that he has been spewing, the narrative that he has been pushing against a family that lost a son at 18 years of age, that he is a non-active police officer, but for some reason he feel like he have to be on the case. Some reason he feel like he have to, take control of something that he has no control of. He was not on the scene. He was not responding to the scene. He has nothing to do with the actual investigative case. And if he was, and if he did, why wouldn't he take that information directly to the police and let them do their investigation? Why come on social media and monetize and do the things he's been doing off this? But to understand what Tatum and his makeup, you have to go back and you have to look at Tatum and his career. You have to literally go back and look at Officer Brandon Tatum through the scope of his police career. And you have to see in that scope of his police career what happened that got us to where we are today. So when I went back, and y'all know how I roll, man. When I went back, I had to think what happened, what made this guy, where was the disconnect, right? So while serving in Tucson, Arizona, police department as an officer and a spokesperson, Tatum had came out, and he started this back in 2016, 2017, where he came out, started sparking, intense local and national, I would say outrage and debates by when he was an officer posting this aggressive political type of commentary, right? Why he's an officer, right? Once again, you're an officer, you're supposed to protect and serve all people, right? But Tatum, what he was doing was he was coming out as a public official who was supposed to serve not some people, but all people, right? But he was coming out and making these political lines known while he was a active police officer. So it starts in 2016 where he posts a viral video defending current president of the United States of America and then President Donald J. Trump after he attended a Donald Trump campaign rally. And he alleged at that time that left-wing protesters were the ones that were inciting violence and making him feel unsafe, right? That's what he said at that time. This is a cop now, right? Then in 2017, the very next year, if you guys remember, this is why I stopped watching football. He posted that video, or he posted, I should say, a highly controversial video, I should say, which aggressively criticized NFL players, right, who took a knee during the national anthem. We already know who was involved in that, right? Now, this is a cop, right? An active duty cop that should have nothing to do with anything political, because when you're a cop, your political life should not be out here in the forefront. You're a cop. You're here to protect and serve. You're here to focus on the people, not your individual preferences, thoughts, this because you are an official, a public servant of the law. So let me give you an example. You are pretty much shunned upon for coming out and pushing narrative one way or another when you are a police officer, right? Because you're an official of the people, right? So because of that, Tatum, he had a lot of people who was on his helmet at this time. And they argued that, hey, man, this dude is a public servant. So as a public servant, he should not be able to use his platform, right, for partisan messaging, right? Now, let's go to the other guy that's in Mississippi. What are you talking about, Ticket? I'm talking about the judge, Carlos Moore. Shout out to Carlos Moore. Carlos Moore was a judge in Mississippi. Carlos Moore was a public servant. He was a judge. Carlos Moore was ran out of his job because Carlos Moore spoke his mind about different injustices that he saw in the black community. So Carlos Moore, he didn't get a chance to walk out. He lost his job. They kicked him out. He got punished and kicked out from being a judge. But as a police officer in Tucson, Arizona, Brandon Tatum, he had his critics rise up. And they argued, hey, man, this dude's a public servant, so he should not be able to use his position as a cop to say, hey, man, push far right-wing ideology, right? So while the police department came out at that time, the Tucson Police Department, and they basically came out and stated that Tatum's rants technically didn't break their policy, which is, I don't know how they didn't. But the immense pressure that was put on them at that time. Because see, Tatum, you got to think about the psychology of this guy. Tatum was getting so much heat at that time. You can see how and why it came to a boiling point. So the pressure was so much and the scrutiny, it ultimately influenced him to quit in late 2017. And that's how he gets into this full media personality coming on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So then you have 2019, which is the University of Alabama situation at Birmingham campus, where he was removed, right? Now think about this. This is a guy who we think he more important than what he is. He gonna try to tell Nolan Wells' mama, why y'all didn't come talk to me? Nigga, don't nobody gotta talk to you. Who the fuck is you to talk to? Nigga, nigga, who is you? Tell me why y'all ain't come talk to me. Don't nobody have to come talk to you, dog. That's a serious complex. When he feel like, I want y'all to think about something. The mama told him, I said this last night in the video, the mama told this Negro, yo, I don't rock with you. We don't rock with you, bro. Just leave us alone. We don't want nothing to do with you. Instead of him walking away and respecting a woman, I have serious questions about Officer Tatum, because Officer Tatum then turned up the kitchen 400 degrees by continuing to put pressure on a mother and a family who just lost their son and wants nothing to do with you. If you had any type of sympathy or empathy for that family, you would walk a fucking way and leave these people alone and stop bringing more pain to these people who didn't ask you to be involved. You have no legal jurisdiction to be involved, and you have no legal right to be involved as far as you're not involved in this case. None of the things that you are saying right now, it can be proven is involved in a sealed case. All of the information in this case is sealed. So how can Tatum come out here and say any of these things, right? Now Tatum knows what's gonna happen. He knows something. Tatum knows that when the grand jury report comes out, it's gonna be a lot of lawsuits flying. He knows that. The only thing these people are waiting for, and I've heard this, is for the grand jury report to come out, right? He knows that that's coming, right? He knows the report is coming, the official report. Why does he keep going on YouTube talking this shit? Why not just wait for the actual report to come out? Why continue to put pressure on these families? But we got to go back to understand now. So 2019, University of Alabama at Birmingham, he's on the campus. No longer an officer. So in April of 2019, Brandon Tatum, he sparked a free speech controversy at UAB, basically University of Alabama at Birmingham, right? Now, what he did was he reportedly hand-delivered flyers to advertise an upcoming conservative event. And when he did that, the campus police told him to get the hell out of there. They said, get your ass out of the student union. Now, what he did was he recorded the interaction and he published a video and accused the university of politically motivated censorship. What business did he have over at that university? Right? Now, when he did that, the university got severe backlash, right? The campus administration from conservative student groups. So this caused a whole rile up, right? Think now. So you wonder why the mama don't want to talk to this dude. You wonder why Ben Crump don't want to talk to this dude, because they know this nigga's disingenuous. Because he said, hey, Ben, my people over here, they would love to talk to you and hear from you. No, they won't. Don't nobody on your channel respect or like Ben Crump, nigga. So stop capping. And how do I know? Look at your comment section, bro. You can talk about your viewership. I'm going to tell y'all something. This guy right here, he is an egomaniac. And listen, look at this. So when he sent this email, he begged them. He put it out himself. He begged the lawyer, Ben Crump, to come talk to him. Not one time, not two times, not three times. He begged him 4 times and got rejected. He was so upset that he got rejected, right? Because he thought that because he has a YouTube channel, has all these views, right? He thought, well, shit, Ben Crump gonna want to come over here. But what he forgot is that Ben Crump is a made man, and he's a legend in the civil rights movement, right? Ben Crump is nothing Tatum can say. If Ben Crump can't read, how did Ben Crump get his degree? If Ben Crump has achieved way more in life than Brandon Tatum. Ben Crump don't need a YouTube channel to pop off, be successful, and be one of the most well-known public figures in the history. Ben Crump is currently in his prime. This is why I be telling all these people on YouTube, calm down, Ben Crump is on the case. See, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Niggas don't really understand the legend of Ben Crump. This nigga is a legend in his own time. He's going to possibly go down. Matter of fact, I've already think he's past this nigga. He's going down bigger than Johnny Cochran. If you look at all the cases that Ben Crump has stepped up with, he is a civil rights leader, not only attorney. So when Tatum tries to diminish him, Who the fuck is Tatum to come get involved? And what is Tatum gaining from getting involved? Tatum criticizes Ben Crump and says, oh, he's coming for money. But why is Tatum involved? Tatum took an interview he did with the white boys and chopped it up how many times and put it on his YouTube channel? So Tatum is not telling y'all that he's getting all that money. Tatum act like he care about the case so much. Why hasn't Tatum donated anything? As a leader, Officer Tatum, I challenge you to donate. Since you care so much about this case, I challenge you to donate all of your proceeds that you have made off the videos talking about Nolan Wells to find out what happened to Nolan Wells. He ain't gonna do it. Where y'all think that money gonna go? Let's get back to this, because this is slow cook ether I got on his ass today. So, right, at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, Tatum recorded that whole interaction, and he published a video and accused that university of politically motivated censorship. That triggered some severe backlash, you guys, against the campus administration from conservative student groups. So basically, people got riled up, right? Right? What did Tatum go do to the mama the other night? When the mama said, I don't want to talk about Brandon Tatum, he tried to say, oh, because she said my name, she's trying to incite people to come. Nigga, the whole world knows your name. You put it all over the place. Officer Brandon Tatum. That's what you do. That's what you do. So what are we talking about? You do that. You do that. Right? 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 This is what he does. Then we go to the next part. As a co-founder of the Brexit movement, right? Which was, for you guys who don't know, a movement that Tatum co-founded, which he encouraged Black Americans to leave the Democratic Party, right? And me, if anybody knows me on YouTube, and this is why I told y'all, Tatum, he'll never debate me because I'll smoke him. In any debate, I will smoke this nigga. Because the one thing Tatum can't say about me is that I get on my knees for the Democrats, because I don't give a fuck about none of these people. I think Joe Biden's a weirdo, telling people that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Joe Biden has multiple misconduct allegations against him, and it's been all the way through the Democratic Party for years. Bill Clinton, all these people, they're all dishonest people. Donald Trump, we're going to get to him in a minute, right? So Tatum can't play this. Now, somebody says stop tearing the brother down. No, all he does is tear people down. All I'm doing is picking up a mirror and showing him who he is. If you don't like it, get your ass out of here. Ain't nobody forced you to be here. But he going to get cooked today because I figured it out. I figured it out. So he's the co-founder of that movement, which encouraged Black Americans to leave the Democratic Party, right? Which I think both parties should be eliminated. I think that both parties are full of shit and that we should not have any more parties. Matter of fact, I think the Democrats and the Republicans are like the Crips and the Bloods. But their gang is bigger, stronger, and they got suits on. And they doing more damage than the niggas on the streets is doing. Up there in them suits. If you eliminate that two-party system, game over now. If you take corruption out of politics, game over now. Tatum don't want to talk about that though. I'm gonna show you what Tatum want to do. So Tatum, he routinely gets criticized from civil rights advocates, right? So think about this. You don't think Ben Crump already knew what was up with Tatum when Tatum said, "Oh, why he ain't want to talk to me?" Nigga, all you do is criticize civil rights advocates. Ben Crump is one of the biggest civil rights advocates in American history, nigga. In American history. Why would he go talk with you when all you do is this? He know what you want to do. You want that for clicks and views. He know that. So why would he give you that? I want you to think about this. If a woman tell you as a man, Tatum, I don't want to talk to you, leave me alone, why would you continue to talk, harass, and bother that woman? Why wouldn't you as a grown-ass man, nigga, when the mama told you whose son ain't been dead, the body ain't got cold yet, nigga? Why wouldn't you walk away and say, you know what, man, that lady lost her son at the end of the day, I'm going to respect that family, nigga? You know why? Because if it was the other side, you would want people to respect Erica Kirk, nigga. Let's keep going. So he got criticism, fierce criticism from civil rights advocates over the years for claiming institutional racism does not exist in America, policing and asserting that he never encouraged or encountered a racist officer during his career. Meanwhile, in one of the biggest cases, this is why I told y'all, Brandon Tatum will never get in the room with me, y'all. See, y'all, a lot of people don't like me because of the stances I take. The stances I take is because I'm very educated and knowledgeable. Tatum thinks that he can go eat the stupid people. That's what he thinks. Because he thinks that they're all leaning towards one side. He'll say, oh, y'all ain't know but a bunch of Democrats, and get people riled up behind him and say, see, they on that side. He can't bring that shit with me because I don't give a fuck about either one of them sides. This is why he can't come to me with that bullshit. Because I think the Democrats and the Republicans are all full of shit. And that's the reason why the country is in the way it's in right now. And I think both parties should be eliminated. Right? That's what I think. But see, Tatum couldn't run that play with me because he'll get his ass cooked. And I'm publicly challenging you, nigga. I'll pull up on you, nigga. Whatever you want to do it. I'll come to your network, nigga. I'll pull up on you, nigga, since you want somebody to talk to. But anyways, though, he did that, right? And he thinks that they don't see this, all this shit he's been doing over the years. So when they civil rights leaders see this, they saying, damn, dog, you came out and claimed that institutional racism doesn't exist in American policing. Meanwhile, you got a whole world. When O.J. Simpson went through a court of American law, and was found not guilty of murder. In your court, more people were mad that O.J. Simpson was found not guilty than they were that there was a lying, dirty cop that was exposed in the case, that was the lead investigator. In what case can the lead investigating cop in a top-tier murder case not only be exposed as a stone-cold racist, but a liar? And you had a nerve to say that racism does not exist in American policing and asserted that he never encountered a racist officer during his career. When all we had to tell you is two words, Mark Fuhrman. Mark Fuhrman got on a stand in front of the world. He won't acknowledge this now. Mark Fuhrman got on a stand in front of the world. And when Johnny Cochran and his team asked him, have you ever called black folks a nigger. He lied. On the stand, this is a sworn cop. Tatum won't tell you that O.J. Simpson, after being found not guilty, was blackballed everywhere. But after the cop who went on the stand and lied about being a stone cold racist, and they played all those tapes to prove he was a racist. And not only that, they asked him on the stand, did you plant evidence? And he pled the fifth. As a cop, he couldn't even say, no, I swear on the oath, I didn't plant evidence. You know what he said? He said, I plead the fifth to not incriminate myself. He was able to leave the police force peacefully. And guess where he ended up finding work? Guess who hired his racist ass? I'll let you answer that, Tatum. But you gonna tell us it ain't no racist police. We just saw what happened to George Floyd, nigga, where a cop put his knee on a man's neck and murdered him in front of the whole world. But you would dare be putting this information out over the years and act like you ain't got research, brother. Act like you ain't got Google to find these things, which is prevalent and relevant in our world today. He also came in the national spotlight for this situation right here. See, this is his crown jewel, this whole Nolan Wells situation. This is crown jewel. This is his crown jewel, this Nolan Wells situation, right? And I know what he did. I know what he did. But you got to go deeper with him. And when you go deeper with Officer Tatum, ladies and gentlemen, you might not like what I'm going to say, but I don't care. I'm going to tell the truth on my channel at all times. And if you don't like it, that's your fault. He went from criticizing Ben Crump and saying they only come around for the money. But when Ben Crump turned him down, go look at Tatum's YouTube channel, you guys. Look at all of the videos Tatum has got hand over fist money over. Hand over fist money over, talking about Nolan Wells. All these videos in 2 weeks talking about Nolan Wells. And not only that, you know what else he's done? He says that, oh, they're all about the money. He promotes his brands during these videos, money for himself. He also is promoting his tears, more money for himself. And he hide behind that, oh, y'all be blessed, man. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all stay blessed, this, that, and the third. And he claimed that he is a child of God. He hide behind, yeah, I'm blessed, man, because see, he came out the other day and he talked about Don Lemonhead. Now, me personally, I don't listen to Don Lemon. It is what it is. But you talked about Don Lemon and you asked if Don Lemon was a Christian because of you said a man he had in his lap. Right? But you know who you've never questioned, Tatum? You know who you never questioned? You went against Megyn Kelly, Tatum. You remember what you did to Megyn Kelly? A lot of people don't know what you did to Megyn Kelly. See, I don't like Megyn Kelly at all. I have severe disdain for Megyn Kelly. But you know what Tatum did to Megyn Kelly, y'all? Right? I'm going to tell you what he did to Megyn Kelly. Right? In his entire career, Officer Brandon Tatum almost has never directly criticized Donald Trump. To this day, he remains one of Donald Trump's most steadfast and vocal defenders in the conservative media space. His entire career was categorized and catalyzed, I should say, by a viral 2016 video where this man came out passionately defending Donald Trump at a campaign rally in Tucson, Arizona. And he has consistently maintained a pro-Donald Trump stance since that day. And rather than criticizing Donald Trump, this shows you he has no impartiality to himself. Brandon Tatum, he frequently attacks other people. And I notice he likes to go at women too. Why do I say that? He attacked other people that was in the conservative media space who showed hesitation against Donald Trump with all of this shit that came up. Megyn Kelly. He lambasted Megyn Kelly on his own podcast and unfollowed Megyn Kelly and called Megyn Kelly fake. All because Megyn Kelly urged that, hey man, it should be some caution regarding Donald Trump's foreign policy comments on Venezuela. This is what he did now. This is what Tatum did, right? Right? When Donald Trump comes out and when he say jump, Tatum say how high. He always uses platform a lot to give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt. He argued that Trump possesses unique insight. He stated on KTAR News that even when Donald Trump's claims seem far-fetched, his predictions on major issues like border security often materialize because he operates with knowledge others lack. That's what Tatum said, right? I want y'all to understand this. So it takes me to this, and it shows you, and this is all summed up, why Tatum is the way he is. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Tatum will come out here and say all of these disparaging things about black folks, the black community, the left wingers, right? He is the type of guy, if you don't align with him or his side, I told y'all what he did to Megyn Kelly. Tatum, I have one question for you, brother. I have one question for you. You went down to Mississippi for a few days, right? And on this channel, I want to make this clear. I don't know any of the case evidence or what they're investigating. I can't come in here in this particular situation and say, hey man, blah, blah, blah. You know why? Because I feel comfortable. Why? Because Ben Crump is on the case. See, let me say this to everybody listening to this video, and I've said this the whole time. If Ben Crump was not on this case, I would feel differently. But the fact that Ben Crump is on this case and has his own independent investigators, I trust Ben Crump. Why do I trust Ben Crump? Because he has a proven history and a proven record and a proven resume. It's proven. His resume, his history is proven. There's no question about it at all. He is proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? But that's why I don't question his process, because he has gotten results and answers time after time after time after time. So when people say, hey, man, I don't trust the autopsy, nigga, he's getting back the same toxicology they're going to get back. So they ain't going to be able to lie about the toxicology, because remember, the toxicology don't change. Think about what I'm saying to y'all now. He's doing their own investigation, so they're not going to be able to say some bullshit. And he already got his own investigators investigating their situation. It's going to have to be some, you know what I'm saying, justice around this mofo. So that's why I have been patient in this case and said, you know what? I ain't going to come out here and accuse nobody of murder because I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. The details of the case have been sealed. Ben Crump's side nor the state side have given out any of their information yet publicly. So I can't come out here and use people's situations on the internet as alleged evidence when it's not even admissible in court. It's not even being used in the case. So I said, you know what, I'll wait because Ben Crump's on the case. I know I got confidence in what he do. Right? If they do some bullshit, I already know Ben Crump gonna bust him open. He on top of the case. Right? So instead of just sitting back and waiting to see what comes out, Tatum thinks that he has ownership over this whole situation and that people need to come talk to him and be transparent with him. So he went down to Mississippi and talked to the white boys. And after 2 or 3 days, he came out and declared, I trust all of them. I think they all telling the truth. I trust them. I don't know nobody you can talk to in 2 days and you trust them and know them and can trust that they telling you the truth. Negro, please. But it made sense. And the reason why it made sense is because when you look at Tatum and his thought process and his mentality, I had to ask myself a question. I looked at Tatum, and when the mother of Nolan Wells, who her and the father looks like he'll never, I don't think that man will ever be the same again. Nolan Wells' father will never be the same again. That nigga have lost a part of his soul, nigga. I can see it. I can look through his eyes. He don't look like he have any life. Elmore, be strong, my brother. Be strong, my brother. Be strong, my brother. God don't put nothing on your chest you can't handle, man. Be strong. You got other ones that stand up looking up to you, brother. And I can see it in his face. I can see the pain and the mama trying to fight through the pain and having to go in front of the whole world to try to find justice for her son. And when she smiled, people criticize her. Right? When she tries to fight back those tears, they criticize her. Call her money hungry, money grubbing. Meanwhile, you got dudes like Tatum that's out here getting money hand over fist talking about this shit. But I noticed something, y'all. I noticed that Tatum, once again, he went so hard at Megyn Kelly. And even when the mother told him, I don't want nothing to do with you, this concerned me about Tatum. A woman who lost her son, nigga, told you she don't want nothing to do with you, leave her alone. And what did you proceed to do? You went to make a podcast episode talking about this woman again. What is wrong with you, man? This woman asked you, her son is dead, nigga. She asked you to leave her alone. You come out talking about, oh, I'm going to take it easy. What are you talking about, nigga? But since you're so hell-bent on getting to the truth, Tatum, that showed me your spirit, my nigga. Since you so hell-bent on getting to the truth in this case, Tatum, why aren't you hell-bent on getting to the truth of the allegations against Donald Trump and the Epstein files? Tatum, in those Epstein files, the man who you have paraded, uplifted, and defended to no end, his name appears more than 1,000 times. Donald Trump The man who you praise, Tatum, I want you to do an investigation. Since you're a non-active police officer, but you out here acting like you doing cop detective work. Why won't you do any detective work with your whole platform and go interview the Epstein survivors that are still alive? Why don't you use your detective work and try to find out the Epstein survivors who are alive who accused Donald Trump of some of the most heinous allegations in the world? And a lot of people gonna leave now. They ain't gonna like what I got to say now, because I'm gonna tell the goddamn truth. In 1994, Tatum, included in the Department of Justice's January 2026, that's this year, release of 3.5 million pages, even though there are 3-something million that's still missing. It was a legal complaint, Tatum, from a woman who accused the current president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, of R-wording her in 1994 when she was a 13 leader. Don't you think that deserves all your energy, Tatum, for a guy you defend? In the 1980s, FBI interview summaries, 302 files, Officer Tatum, that was revealed in March of this year. Following public scrutiny, Officer Tatum, regarding withheld documents, the Department of Justice published 16 additional pages of FBI interview summaries, which was 302 files. These documents detail 3 FBI interviews from 2019, Officer Tatum, with a woman who alleged to the FBI, Officer Tatum, this ain't for money, this is to the FBI. The woman alleged that Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to yo idol Donald Trump in the 1980s. She claimed that Donald Trump graphically assaulted her when she was between the ages of a 13 leader and a 15 leader. And she notes that she had 2 other small interactions with him before she changed the whole subject. You know, Trump denied all that. What about this, Officer Tatum? Since you stand up for black folks, like you said in your last video, you put your life on the line for black folks. That's what you said in your last video, right? I heard you when you said it, right? When you was going at D.L. Hewley and them, right? What about in 1973? The United States Justice Department sued the man you praised, Donald J. Trump, management, for systematically discriminating against black apartment seekers. Donald Trump fought the charges, and Donald Trump settled in that case. Now, he refused to admit guilt, but he settled. But he agreed to strict measures to stop that practice. Why have you never addressed that, Tatum? Tatum, I got one better for you. Since you're back in your investigative mode, 1989, Central Park 5, newspaper advertisements by Donald Trump. Remember that brutal attack on that female jogger in Central Park? Donald Trump paid almost $85,000 for a full-page newspaper advertisement calling for the return of the death penalty. The 5 black and Hispanic teenagers arrested for that crime were fully exonerated later on by DNA evidence and another man's confession. You know what Donald Trump did? He repeatedly refused to apologize for those ads or acknowledge that those guys were found innocent. Why you ain't investigating that, cop? Cop. Why you not investigating that, cop? What about 1991? The John O'Donnell book accusations. We'll talk about that right now. Where John O'Donnell, who was a former president of Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, wrote a book. And he alleged in his book that Donald Trump made deeply disparaging remarks about black employees, including the claim that quote unquote laziness is a trait in blacks. Donald Trump later said in a 1997 Playboy interview, Officer Tatum, that the book was probably true, though he has since denied making those statements. Why aren't you investigating that, cop? What about 2011 through 2016, when he went on that whole birther campaign against Barack Obama, where he became the leading voice of the debunked conspiracy theory that Barack Obama, America's first black president, was born in Kenya and was therefore an illegitimate president, right? Remember that? Why you didn't investigate that, cop? Or better yet, why you didn't investigate how Donald Trump's wife got to the United States of America, cop? Why not investigate that? You a cop, right? You back on duty, right? You down there doing investigations on Nolan Wells. Come on, cop. Let's find out. Let's keep it fair. Let's keep it fair, cop. How did Melania Trump get her citizenship? The overbroad characterization of black communities. Let's talk about that. 2016 presidential campaign. Donald Trump explicitly pitched himself to black voters by framing their lives in bleak, sweeping stereotypes. And he said, y'all, and I quote, "You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. What the hell do you have to lose?" End quote. That's what Donald Trump said. That's what he said. Why you didn't investigate that, cop? But you back Donald Trump 100%. No criticisms. I can keep going. What about the 2017 attack on those NFL players? That's right. You was down with that. When Donald Trump repeatedly attacked NFL football players for having their own opinion. See, Tatum, you're a hypocrite. When you went to the University of AB to protest and you complained that they wouldn't let you go on there and do your protest, nigga, you came out talking shit about the NFL football players who wanted to protest. You're a fucking hypocrite. Ex-cop. You're a hypocrite, ex-cop. And not only that, when a predominantly black man kneeled during the national anthem of protest, Trump attacked them and he publicly referred to any of those players kneeling as a son of a bitch who should be fired. This is the president of the United States of America, cop. Think about what I just said to y'all, right? Also that same year, Donald Trump routinely used his social media to attack the intelligence and character, this is what they do, of high-profile black Americans. When he went at Maxine Waters, he called her low IQ. Don Lemon, the dumbest man on TV, and he went at Jamel Hill too, right? This is what he does, call you on. But remember, this is the same playbook he just tried to use, Batum Tatum, against Ben Crump. Oh, he can't read, he can't this. That nigga got a better education than you. What's your education and what's Ben Crump education? Tatum, what is Ben Crump education and what is your education? Nigga, you are a YouTuber. You are ex-cop, Jay Reed. Ben Crump is a civil rights leader, a civil rights attorney that's legendary in his own fucking time, nigga. He will go down as a legend. You will go down as a stain. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. What about those comments he made? Referring, and shout out to all my Haitians, sac by say, sac a fit. During a private White House meeting in 2018 regarding immigration reform, Donald Trump questioned why the U.S. had to accept immigrants from Haiti and African nations, referring to them as shithole countries. Right? What about in 2019? COP, where Donald Trump tweeted that a group of progressive congresswomen of color, including Black Representative Ayanna Pressley, should quote unquote go back and help fix the totally broken and crime infested places from which they came. All of those women were targeted, were U.S. citizens, and 3 of them was born in the United States. Listen to what y'all always want to call somebody uneducated. Donald Trump is currently trying to use Bad Bunny's music to deport people. Their whole White House, they don't even know. Is Donald Trump too damn uneducated to know that Puerto Rico is a part of the United States? You can't deport somebody that's a part of the United States, man. But you want to talk about Ben Crump is uneducated. Let's keep going. It's easy work for me, yo. This is easy work for me, man. What about in 2019? When Trump went off on an extended public attack against the late Elijah Cummings. And he described Cummings, majority Black congressional district in Baltimore, as a disgusting rat and rodent infested mess, even though Donald Trump was in New York. And who got the biggest roaches and rats than New York? And he used this similar infestation terminology to describe other majority and minority cities like Atlanta and Detroit. What about in 2019 when he made that comment comparing impeachment to lynching, where he explicitly compared the constitutional impeachment inquiry against him to a quote-unquote lynching? Do you not know what Black folks went through for him to say that? And you Tatum, I haven't seen you talk any about it. I looked through your whole channel. I never seen you talk about any of this stuff, right? Right? Remember in 2024 when Donald Trump was speaking at a Black conservative gala in February of 2024? And he basically suggested that Black Americans supported him because they resonated with his criminal indictments. He claimed, and I quote, this is a quote, y'all, that the Black people, end quote, that they like him because they view him as a victim of legal discrimination. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, right? He said that Kamala Harris turned Black, but nobody ever asked Donald Trump, did he turn white? Nobody asked him that. But he asked that about Kamala Harris, who I have, no care in the world for either. What about when he posted on their social media account, on his account, the video this year in February that compared and that basically had former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as apes, right? And this fool claimed it was posted on his account, but he didn't watch the whole video. You know, I don't think you want to do this. I don't think you want to do this. I don't think you want to do this. Right? Let's talk about this. I'm going to give you some names, Tatum, that I want you to investigate. Since you back in cop mode. Right? Since you like, you know what I'm saying, going at women like you did with Nolan Wells' mother. I'm going to give you some names, cop. And I need this cop who's trying to get back on duty, top flight security of the fucking world, Craig. I need you to do this investigation before we leave, Tatum, because I figured out why you are and what you're doing. Tatum, it was a woman by the name of Alva Johnson. I need you to find her and try to interview her. Since you want to interview Ben Crump and get all these other, I need you to find Alva Johnson. Now, if you're going to ask me, who's the Alva Johnson ticket? Alva Johnson is a former 2016 campaign staffer for Donald Trump. Officer Tatum, I need you to rewind the clock and go back to cop mode. Cop. Alva Johnson is a former 2016 campaign staffer, right? She accused Donald Trump of forcibly kissing her on her mouth inside the campaign RV. Cop, get back on the fucking job and investigate. Come on, cop. You want to be a cop again? You want to be in, you want to go down to Mississippi and do investigations? Investigate Alva Johnson, who was a campaign staffer for Donald Trump, who said that this man forcibly kissed her in her mouth. Go interview her. Why you don't want to interview her, y'all? And while you at it, why you don't interview Amy Doris, who's a former model, who alleged that Donald Trump forcibly shoved his tongue down her throat and groped her outside of a bathroom at the 1997 U.S. Open. Cop, why don't you go investigate Bridget Sullivan, a former New Hampshire contestant, who stated that Donald Trump walked through the pageant changing rooms while contestants were naked? Can't say that's a lie. You know why? Because Donald Trump admitted to Howard Stern that he would walk through those dressing rooms. He basically took that as a badge of honor, a special privilege. But cop, officer, you ain't got a problem with that, do you? Not only that, Donald Trump was caught on a hot mic saying, hey, grab him by the PUSSYs. They let you do it. Not only that, Donald Trump said on that also, he said, hey, man, I just start kissing her. I won't stop kissing her. He said all this on tape. And then the most egregious of them all is when Howard Stern straight up called Donald Trump a predator, a sexual predator on his show, and Donald Trump's daughter agreed. That's on YouTube. Why won't he invest? But this is the guy he supports. These are the people he supports. Right? And if you support Joe Biden, you ain't no better. That motherfucker let his son free after being found guilty. Do you think he would have let your son free? But he let his free. And he got multiple allegations himself. So F him too. So that you ain't gonna be able to run that play with me, Tatum. But we talking about your boy because this is who you defend. You defend Donald Trump. Top flight security style, nigga. What he said in the movie, y'all, I'm willing to die for this shit, man. Tatum, you grabbing your flashlight, you know you got to shine somebody. Use your platform, Tatum, and your voice. You really want to make a change? Go interview Carrie Johnston. She accused Donald Trump of grabbing her and kissing her without permission at a modeling agency event in the late 1990s. Why you won't interview her? Why you won't go barking down their doors? What about Cassandra Sears, Miss Washington, USA, 2013, who wrote on social media that Trump continued to grab her ass and invited her to his room? Girl, you want to come to my hotel? Baby, I will leave you my room key. Tatum, I'm giving you all these names of people you can interview, dog. You never want to interview these people. What about Kathy Heller, who accused Donald Trump of grabbing her and aggressively kissing her on the mouth during a Mother's Day brunch at Mar-a-Lago in 1997? Why won't Tatum go interview any of these people I'm naming? What about E. Jean Carroll? You know, that magazine columnist that Donald Trump was just found guilty on? Why he won't interview her? The E. Jean Carroll just got a bag from Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump lost that case. She is a magazine columnist who accused Donald Trump of R-wording her in a department store dressing room in the mid-90s. A federal jury found Donald Trump legally liable for sexual abuse and defamation in that case. Why won't Tatum go interview her? Tatum, Ivana Trump, Donald Trump's first wife, who stated in the 1989 divorce deposition that he had violated and R-worded her during an argument. Now, she later clarified it and said she didn't mean it in a literal criminal sense. I wonder why she changed that. What about Jennifer Murphy? I'm giving you all these names, cop. Cop, you got to go interview these people. You got to do an investigation, man. This guy you backing, man. Jennifer Murphy was a former contestant on The Apprentice. And she stated that Donald Trump, the guy you praise, glory, and honor, right? Because you said you a holy man, Tatum. You said that you are a holy and Christian man. So I expect you to conduct yourself as such. Why won't you go interview Jennifer Murphy, a former contestant on The Apprentice, who said that Donald Trump unexpectedly kissed her on the lips at the end of a 2005 job interview? Imagine ending a job interview and a dude allegedly kisses you on your mouth. What about Jessica Drake? I was going to give you another name, nigga. The adult film actress who said that Donald Trump grabbed and kissed her without permission at a golf tournament in 2006 and later offered her $10,000 for sex. Why won't Tatum interview them? Tatum, what about a woman named Jessica Leeds? My list goes on and on and on, and sweeter than Ben and Jerry's. Now think about this, y'all. I got all these leads for Officer Tatum, but he want to come around here fucking with Nolan Wells' parents and their son died, nigga. I got a good case for him. He want to come out of retirement. I got a hell of a case for him. I got a case for him against Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. We can investigate Obama. How you want to do it? George Bush, the daddy, and the son. But you want to mess with these people who didn't ask for their son to not pop up dead, nigga. But what about Jessica Leeds, who accused Donald Trump of lifting a first-class airplane seat armrest in the 1980s, groping her breast and attempting to put his hand up her skirt on the flight? What about Jill Harth, cop, a makeup artist, who in a 97 lawsuit alleged that Donald Trump pinned her against a wall and subjected her to attempted R-word at Mar-a-Lago. Why hasn't the former cop came and investigated all of these allegations? I got names for you, nigga. I ain't even got no ifs, ands, or but. I got names, nigga. What about Juliet Huddy? She worked at Fox News, nigga. That's your stomping grounds, right? You love Fox News. Juliet Huddy was a former Fox News host who stated that Donald Trump tried to kiss her on the lips in the elevator at Trump Tower in 2005. Why won't he interview? Bro, that's at your home headquarters. Fox News, that's where y'all like to hang out, right? I'm telling you about ex-campaign staffers, people who are working at Fox News. I'm giving you all this shit. Why he won't go investigate this, y'all? But he won't sit over here and make 100 videos messing with these people's family. And their son dead, and the mama says she don't want nothing to do with you, nigga. Why won't you go investigate Karen Johnson, who alleged that Donald Trump grabbed her, pulled her behind a tapestry, and forcibly kissed her at a New Year's Eve party at Mar-a-Lago in the early 2000s? Think about this, y'all. What about Kristen Anderson? Kristen Anderson, y'all, was a former aspiring model who came out and accused Donald Trump of reaching under her skirt, touching her kitty through her undies at a crowded Manhattan nightclub in the early 90s. I'm giving the cop names. I'm giving you names, Tatum. What about Lisa Boyne, who alleged that Donald Trump made modeling contestants walk across a table during a 1996 dinner while he looked up their skirts and commented on their undies? Why aren't you interviewing any of these people, cop? I'm going to air him all the way out. Y'all put that shit in the streets, nigga. I won't smoke. Direct smoke with this nigga. I will pull up to his podcast and debate him. I will ask him, why hasn't he tried to use his platform, since he is all about truth, honor? He is a good, holy, art thou man, y'all. Reverend Leon Love. Sister Gina. Oh, Sister Gina, let me lay my hands on your succulent, perky little, down, Satan. I rebuke you in the name. Why won't he talk to any of these accusers? Why won't he interview Mariah Bilato, who's a former Miss Teen USA contestant, who accused Donald Trump of walking directly into the changing rooms while teenage contestants were completely undressed? Holy man, why aren't we investigating all this shit? Listen, y'all, I've been here for 20 minutes straight naming names. Cut the cap, nigga. But you want to bother Nolan Wells' mama. I will air everything out. Melinda McGillivray. And remember, y'all, these allegations are way before Donald Trump ever thought run about for president. She accused Donald Trump of grabbing and nudging her ass while she was assisting a photographer at Mar-a-Lago in 2003. Why won't Tatum go interview Natasha Stoyanov, a People magazine reporter who alleged that Donald Trump cornered her against a wall, forcibly kissed her while she visited Mar-a-Lago to interview him and his wife in 2005? Let's talk about that. Why won't Tatum talk about that? Why won't he talk about that? Right? So we have to ask these questions, man, because this is very important. This is very important, right? That we ask these questions, right? Very important that we ask these questions. Think about this, y'all. There's a woman by the name of Nene Laxonen, who's a former Miss Finland, who alleged that Donald Trump not only grabbed her cakes backstage, but he did it before an appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman in 2006. Why won't cop Officer Tatum, right? Why won't he talk about, and we have to get to this, Rachel Crooks, who's a former Trump Tower receptionist, who stated that Trump repeatedly kissed her on the cheeks, man, and forcibly on the mouth when she introduced herself in 2005. Why are we not talking about that, bro? What about Samantha Hovey and Miss North Carolina, USA, in 2006, who basically stated that Donald Trump personally inspected contestants backstage while they were naked or in robes? Why won't we talk about Stacey Williams, who was a former model who alleged that Jeffrey Epstein brought her to the Donald Trump Tower in 1993, where Donald Trump allegedly proceeded to extensively grope her chest, waist, and her cakes? What about Summer Zervos, a former Apprentice contestant who accused Donald Trump of aggressively kissing her, grabbing her breast, and thrusting his beefcake against her during a 2007 business meeting? Why won't the cop investigate Tasha Dixon, a Miss Arizona USA of 2001, who stated that Donald Trump walked in the dressing room while contestants were completely naked and changed? Why won't the cop investigate Temple Taggart McDowell, a Miss Utah USA 1997, who stated that Trump kissed her directly on the lips twice without consent when they met? I got more names. I could be here all day long. This is cynical. But this cop, ex-cop, what he want to talk about and go back and forth with a mother whose son has just passed away. I want you to really think about that. Think about the psychology of that. And he acting like he want to investigate, and I'm trying to help. No, you ain't trying to do shit. You have nothing to do with this. You have no privy to any information because the case file is sealed. Then you made the biggest mistake in the world. You went on the video yesterday and said on the live stream and said you got video that you didn't put out because you didn't think that those people had anything to do with it. What you mean? Everybody that was out there that day should be treated as a witness. And if this is determined by the reports from Ben Crump's team and from the state that this is a murder case, now we changed the title of that. But everybody that was out there that day should be treated as a witness until their name is eliminated from true investigation. But who is this dude? Barney and Fife ass, RoboCop, to come around here trying to tell these parents and Big Crump what they need to do and who they need to talk to. Who made this dude king? Who did it? He literally went down to Mississippi, y'all, hung out with dudes for 2 or 3 days, and now he said, hey, man, there's some good dudes, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, man, I'm just trying to tell you, man, because, see, I'm telling you right now, man, there's some good guys, man. I mean, nigga, you don't know these people. I'm telling y'all this right now. We got 1,600 people in the live chat right now, y'all. Don't y'all know we got drug dealers? We got R-wordists. We got sex offenders, all kind of stuff listening to this video right now that's in the chat room talking right now. And don't nobody else know this, right? I can't know this from talking to these people on YouTube 1 or 2 times, right? I could think, hey, man, that's a good person, man. Next thing you know, man, you find out, hey, man, this person's a sex offender. Like, what? Think about what I just said. Think about the psychology of what I just said. So how can Officer Tatum, who has no, if he is not privy to any of the information, and guess what, y'all? If he is, they broke the law. If anybody, as a current police officer, did a favor for an ex-cop and leaked information to him about Nolan Wells' case, autopsy, or toxicology, that is a crime. It's illegal. And to the dude Harley, you say I'm full of crap. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Your name is Harley. Prove it. Harley Charlie. Come prove it, dog. Come prove it. Everything I said is facts. There ain't nothing I said today that's fiction. Every woman I named has accused Donald Trump of misconduct. Everything I said Tatum has done, that's exactly what he has done. He has interjected himself in a case he has nothing to do with. Then he gets mad when one side doesn't want nothing to do with him. And he wants you to believe, y'all, that he emailed. I want y'all to look at this. You have to really think about the psychology of this guy right here. I'm talking about, you really have to think about the psychology of this guy right here. This is why I told y'all I study everything. He came out and told y'all that he wrote Ben Crump on the 16th of July. Now, I want y'all to think about this. He said he wrote Ben Crump first on the 16th of July. Then he said, out of the blue, I want y'all to think about this, what I'm about to tell y'all. He said, out of the blue, y'all, on the 17th, the judge wrote him, and their people wanted to talk. Make it make sense. You gonna tell me 24 hours after you claim that you tried to write, that is a great coincidence, brother. 24 hours after you, out of the blue, tried to write Ben Crump and get an interview. 24 hours later, all of a sudden the other side comes to you and says, hey man, come on down, we willing to talk. Nigga, I was born at night, not last night. And again, I ain't accusing nobody of murder because there's been no official report of murder. I'm not that stupid to come on the internet and accuse somebody of murder because I know, and I'm educated enough to know that when you have something, these people will take it from you if you say stupid shit without proof. Meaning, if you come out and accuse somebody of a murder and they have not been arrested, they have not been charged, they have not been convicted of a murder, that is libel and slander, and that is an easy, low bar for a defamation per se lawsuit, especially against a private citizen. And I know exactly what they're all waiting to do. The reason why Tatum is doing all this shit is because Tatum, he's trying to bait all these people, in my opinion. He said the mama trying to bait people into doing. No, nigga, you know what you doing. I'm going to tell y'all what Tatum wants. Tatum wants this to not be a murder. We don't know what it is. To be honest, none of us know. He wants that because you know why? As soon as they come out with that grand jury report, if it's not a murder, all those families going to instantly sue all these content creators. That's the only reason why they're waiting right now. I already heard the word. Because now it will officially be legal that they have not been charged with murder, have been cleared from investigation, and they've already got the videos and the screenshots, and they're going after them. That's why he's doing what he's doing. He wants y'all so bad to say dumb shit because when it comes out in the official paper, he's gonna come on here and act like King Kong. I told y'all, dudes like this don't fool me. This is why I move very strategic. I move very strategic. Think about what I just said. To the dude who said you're stupid, he said, no, I'm not. You can't be stupid and as successful as I am. Your name is Rukiano Barber. You don't know what the hell you talking about, boy. You can't get 1,800 people to listen to you nowhere, nigga. I've got damn near 100 million people that have listened to me. Sit down and shut up. And I'm telling y'all this. That's why I was putting out videos telling everybody, yo, y'all stop saying that this is a murder before Ben Crump come back and these people come back with their, because what Tatum and them are trying to do is, I'm gonna tell y'all what he gonna do. He gonna come out as soon as the toxicology and the autopsy and the official grand jury come out. Let's say the grand jury say somebody else did something and it wasn't none of these. He gonna come out acting like King Kong. See, I told y'all, there ain't nothing but a bunch of dummies. There ain't nothing. That's why I told everybody, sometimes I know you hate to do it, but sometimes you have to practice a little bit. And the reason why I said in this case is because we got a legend. Bro, this is like having Michael Jordan in the game in the fourth quarter right here. Ben Crump. It's like having Michael Jordan. I know I'm going to win. It's like, that's why hold on. Why y'all think they're so mad that Ben Crump is on this case? They know somebody getting ready to pay a stupid fucking bag. They know somebody gonna have to give up that money. That's why they mad Ben Crump is on the case. Ben Crump is gonna find out everywhere they fucked up. Everybody that effed up, they gonna have to pay a stupid bag. How do I know this? Go look at all the judgments Ben Crump has won. Go look at the money he got for Breonna Taylor. Go look at the money that he got for all these other people in this case. That's why I try to tell y'all. These people are running around acting like we ain't gonna get judged. Bro, you literally have Michael Jeffrey Jordan on your team on the Chicago Bulls in the mid-90s. You ain't losing. You ain't losing. That's why I ain't worried about what the state talking about. Ben Crump is going, but he don't already got everybody talking about this. If Ben Crump didn't come to this case, if they didn't bring him in, the internet would have talked about this for a couple of days, shit would have went away. The fact that Ben Crump was in, this man got the whole country talking about this shit. For a whole month now. He got that. Bro, do you know how hard it is to keep a story like this going for a whole month? This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all run around here panicking. Bro, you literally got the Michael Jordan of our era on your team. Ben Crump know what he doing. That's why you don't hear Ben Crump accusing nobody of murder. Why? Because he's very intelligent. He too smart for that shit. They want Ben Crump they want him to be stupid enough to accuse somebody of murder without stone cold evidence permissible in court. That's an easy lick. That's an easy lick. If Ben Crump would have come out and say something stupid like, hey man, they murdered that boy, he's done. Everything he worked for in his life, they're gonna take from him. Because he doesn't have evidence permissible in court. He doesn't have legal charges. He doesn't have a conviction. He doesn't even have an arrest. So the fact that he would have said that about private citizens, they'd have got his ass up out of it. He would have lost everything. This is the part people don't know. And when you talk to any lawyer worth their salt, the lawyers will tell you, hey, T can tell them the truth. But niggas that don't got no brains be thinking I'm hating or I'm lying. No. I'm telling the truth. I'm trying to help save you niggas money. Why you think they all quiet? They're going to get quiet before the storm. So why y'all think Tatum keep going back and forth at Ben Crump? He want Ben Crump to see. Ben Crump is not stupid. He's not going to go on this boy's platform because he knows that this cop is going to try and say something to get him into a conversation and wing him into a conversation that could get him in legal trouble. Ben Crump is not stupid. Peep what I just told y'all this. And what they're trying to do is, y'all, and this is why I told everybody to fall back. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make it seem like that Ben Crump is inciting a riot. But peep everything Ben Crump said. He never incites a riot. The only thing Ben Crump said is that this town, this state of Mississippi is known for racism in the system and how they approach cases with black citizens, period. He never called any of those white boys racist. Peep word, you have to listen to words. But what they want to do is they want everybody to say, oh, Ben, he gaslit the whole black community into saying that these boys was racist and they was murderers. He never said that. That's why I told y'all, Ben Crump is on a whole nother level than all these niggas. But that's what you have to follow a lead like that, guys. He knows what he's talking about. Ben Crump literally knows he's on the case. He's not going to come on YouTube and do dumb shit and say stupid shit. He's too smart for that. He's been in this game way too long. He's not a rookie at this game. Listen to what I just told y'all this, right? That's why he went and did his own independent autopsy. And everybody keeps talking about, oh, well, autopsy doesn't matter. The toxicology is coming in for him next week. The two toxicologies can't be different. That's why I told y'all, everybody could keep worrying about the autopsy and the toxicology for the state. Why you worried about that shit? Ben Crump gonna already have his own toxicology. They can't fake the toxicology and what was inside their toxicology. So if they say something, it was in Nolan Wells' toxicology, guess what? It got to match what's in Ben Crump's toxicology that he gonna get probably next week. And guess what Ben Crump gonna do? He gonna be transparent. That's why it's gonna fuck everybody up. Ben Crump, as soon as he gets, watch everybody listening to this video. I guarantee you I'm right. As soon as Ben Crump get his toxicology, he gonna come out and announce, regardless of what was in his system. He's gonna come out and announce that to the world. Why? Why is he gonna do that, you guys? Because now that puts immense pressure on the general public to come out publicly with more factual information pertaining to the case. That's why I told y'all the toxicology is going to tell, it's everything right now. When you have a case, I've been telling y'all this. When you have a case like this, you have to find out how Nolan died. Nobody knows how he died yet. Why? Because we haven't seen the toxicology. Ben Crump has got his own toxicology coming. So once he gets the toxicology, they're going to tell you if he had anything in his system that could have killed him before he went in that water. Because you have to know how he got in the water first. Was he already in it? Was he out of it and got put in it? Or did he fall in it? Or did anything? So that's why you have to wait. That's why I told y'all the toxicology is going to tell you what's in your system. I'm going to give everybody an example again. And Tatum knows this shit. Let me give y'all an example. If you live alone, you accidentally drink rat poison, you die. They come find your body. They don't know how you died. How they gonna find out how you died, y'all? When you have the autopsy, you have also a toxicology. A toxicology, they take out your intestines, they check inside of it for the substance of what was in your system. And if anything that was in your system could have caused you or could have caused your death, that's the toxicology, right? So that's why I told y'all the toxicology is so important because it tells you what was in a person's system, how much of it was in a person's system, if anything. Now that gives you a roadmap to say, oh, okay, whatever information we got, if we got 1,000 something calls, now we can narrow that down to 100 calls because the people that told us this, it kind of matches what our toxicology told us. This is why you have to be smart. Tatum and them think that black folks are stupid. And he's coming out here because he knows that it's going to be lawsuits flying. As soon as the state announces what they got, he knows that it's going to be lawsuits flying. Right? Ben Crump is going to get that family. I'm telling y'all this. Ben Crump is going to get this family over $500 million. Everybody keep talking about, oh, they're grifted. They're going to get $500 million either way. You know how I know they're going to get $500 million either way? You know how I know? Because first thing, why was all those youth out there underage drinking? So now we have to backtrack. How did underage youth get drinks? Let's start right there. And then go through the whole process of that whole day Everything that went wrong procedurally. Why didn't the young guys have on a vest in the boat? Don't you know that it is illegal for when they were towing that boat for them not to have on vests in Mississippi? They were all supposed to have on vests. Another question. Were there enough amount of life jackets on the boat Nola was on? These are all questions that need to be answered. Listen to what I just said to y'all. So people not even thinking right. They not even, Ben Crump is finna get a stupid payday for this family. Bro, he already got $700-something million for another. Bro, this dude don't got, Ben Crump done already touched like $2 or $3 billion in settlements. This family finna be rich forever, nigga. So that's why I'm telling y'all, he has every motive to find out what happened with the truth that happened. That's why I ain't really worried about it. Ben Crump is gonna find out detail for detail everything that happened. I'm telling y'all this. Everything that went wrong, he gonna be on top of that shit like a hammer on a nail. I've seen him do this too many times, yo. That's why I be trying to tell you, people out here freaking out. What are y'all freaking out for? Nigga, you got Michael Jordan on your team in the mid-90s, in the clutch, nigga. We in the NBA Finals. This is the biggest case probably in recent history. Ben Crump is on your team. You're not losing. You're not losing, bro. I'm telling you this. They know this. That's the reason why these people don't want Ben Crump around. Right? But if it's your kid and any type of negligence can be found, you will want to capitalize on that too. Peep what I said. Peep what I told y'all. Right? But they don't want to tell y'all this truth. Ben Crump, $779 million settlement for Louis Butler and a wrongful death. This is what Ben Crump got them. $779 million. I told y'all this. Ben Crump won $779 million wrongful death verdict in Gadsden County. A Gadsden County jury awarded, and that was a historic wrongful death verdict to the family of Louis Butler. He was a security guard that was killed during an armed robbery at a negligibly run Florida internet cafe. Anything you did wrong, Ben Crump gonna find out. Remember the Flint, Michigan water crisis? Ben Crump came in, $641 million. Ben Crump came in and he helped secure that class action lawsuit for all the children that was affected by that lead contaminated drinking water in Flint, Michigan. That was Ben Crump. That nigga's bigger than Johnny Cochran. $641 million. What about Dwayne Washington? Ben Crump got Dwayne Washington, who was involved in that truck accident, right? $411 million. Pete, what I just told y'all. Ben Crump was the one, right? Now listen to what I just told y'all, right? He was the one that got that Google employment discrimination $50 million settlement. That black employees regarding systemic racial disparities in hiring, pay, and advancement in the Google employment discrimination. That's Ben Crump. What about the Randy Cox? Somebody said, show you proof? Nigga, what you mean show you proof, nigga? Nigga, all you gotta do is look this up. All you gotta do is go to Google. Type in the names I'm telling you right now. Go to Google and see how much they got paid, fool. It's right there. What the hell are you talking about? Some show us proof, dude. It's on the fucking internet. There are articles literally reporting these settlements. What about the Randy Cox police situation? $45 million. Ben Crump got that. He secured that on the behalf of that black man who was left paralyzed following an arrest in Connecticut. And that was recognized as one of the most largest police misconduct settlements ever recorded. But that cop, Brandon Tatum, won't tell y'all about that. What about, and since you asking me show you proof, nigga, I'll give you the biggest name, nigga. I give you the biggest name to this point. Nigga, George Floyd. Who the fuck you think came and got George Floyd parents that bread, nigga? You know who got George Floyd parents that bread? Ben Crump. Do you know who got George Floyd's family that bread? Ben Crump. You know how much he got him? $27 million. That's right. It was reached with the city of Minneapolis following George Floyd's murder by the police officer, setting a milestone for a pretrial civil rights settlement. I thought I was capping though. What about Breonna Taylor? Ben Crump got Breonna Taylor $12 million. He reached with the city of Louisville a $12 million settlement following her fatal unaliving by the police who executed that no-knock warrant. And we can talk about other cases too. Trayvon Martin, Ben Crump, Michael Brown, Ben Crump, Stephon Clark, Ben Crump, Ahmaud Arbery, Ben Crump, Tyree Nickel, Ben Crump, Sonia Massey, Ben Crump. And you say that Ben is a racing grifter. Okay, so what is what is Brandon Tatum? What is Batum Tatum? Because all Tatum is doing is making YouTube videos, getting money hand over fist. That's it. That's all he doing. All he doing is making a whole bunch of YouTube. How much of that money have he donated to helping find who murdered? Let me tell y'all something. If you look at Tatum's analytics, Tatum has probably made close to 100 racks. Just talking about this the last couple weeks. Probably like 100, 150. He's probably made between that and $250,000. How much money has he made? How much money has he sent that he's made this? And he's the one that's saying that Ben Crump and them is out here looking for money. But he's the one that did interviews with those boys and broke it up into numerous parts for ad revenue. Make it make sense. I don't told y'all the truth. Y'all challenge him to put up all the money he's made. I guarantee you he won't do it. I guarantee he won't do it. Since he's talking about Ben Crump has already put up his own money. Al Sharpton put up 50 racks. He talking about Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton put up $50,000. What does Ben Crump put up? Excuse me. What does Brandon Tatum put up? Ben Crump is on the case for free. He'll get his money on the back end whenever he get that bread from him on that settlement. Terrell Owens came out and put out 25. Tyler Perry put out 50. That boy's daddy put out 50. What has Batum Tatum put up? All that money he's made, and he the one that's want to be the main ones. How much money have he put up for the money he's made talking about this case? I want you to think about this. Think about what I'm saying to y'all. Tell him to open his books and show y'all. All the donation money, all the subscriber money, all of the subscription money, all of the ad revenue he's made from all these videos. about Nola Wells. This is just in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, these are all the videos he's made. That's 2 weeks. But he come on the internet and tell y'all, right? He come on the internet and tell. This is why I tell y'all this. He did that. He did that to Ben Crump. Ben Crump ain't never do nothing to this man. So how can you say that about Ben Crump and that's what you doing? Think about that, y'all. This is why you shouldn't run your mouth about people if you are steadily earning money on it. He's earning money, so why is he talking shit about Ben Crump? Why is he worried about the family's GoFundMe? It's a lot of GoFundMe. Let me ask y'all a question. Did he criticize any GoFundMe surrounding Charlie Kirk? Did he criticize any GoFundMe surrounding anybody that was non-black? Has he ever questioned or criticized that? Ever. Ever. Right? Think about what I just said. All right? Don't come in here on no fake channel. Hey, Tatum, if you want to come with the real, step like a man, dog. Don't come in here with no fake account. Step to me like a man, bro. That little old cop shit don't mean nothing to me, nigga. Don't come in here on no fake time. Cause like I said, I'm not one of these little Democratic hacks. I don't give a fuck about neither one of these sides. I think that Joe Biden is an atrocity. I think that Joe Biden need to answer for all the allegations he's had against him. I think Joe Biden is a stain to sit out here and say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And Charlamagne and them should have kicked his ass right out the Breakfast Club as soon as he said that shit. I think he's disgraceful because you want everybody else to uphold the law, but you free your criminal ass son who was found guilty in a court of law. You release him, but you got all these other people in prison. They got to do time. Nah, nigga, if you a leader of the free world, even if it's your kid that committed a crime, you got to treat that the same way. You have to be impartial. Period. Same thing with Bill Clinton. Went up there talking about he ain't know nothing about nothing with the Epstein files. You believe that shit? This the same dude that sat up there and lied Bill Clinton lied his ass off. Told the whole world he was willing to let Monica Lewinsky go down and I'm talking about Monica Lewinsky. Y'all know how bad that could have ended for her? That girl could have dealt with all kind of mental, psychological, all kind of problems. And even worse than that, Bill Clinton he didn't give a fuck about what happened with that girl. He was willing to lie to save his own ass. Thank God she kept the clothes that kept his stains on it. Because he was willing to lie in front of the whole world to defame that woman. That's why I try to tell y'all, I don't trust none of these. All them mofos in the same pictures together. Tatum will come on the internet and blast everybody else. Donald Trump was hanging out with Bill Clinton. All these people was friends. Bill, Hillary, Trump, all these people. So you're not finna do that to me. You're not finna tell me Obama's the enemy, but when we see Obama and Trump together, they talk all that shit when they apart. As soon as they come together, they dapping it up, laughing and joking and shit. Fuck out of here with that. You gonna fool me, nigga? Again, I was born at night, not last night. Obama sitting over there. At least Michelle kept that shit real. She was like, nah, F you. F you then and F you now. Obama sitting up there after this man don't said all this shit about you, laughing and kikiing and joking with that nigga. I don't trust no dude like that. Even George Bush was like, man, that man talked all that shit about me. I ain't saying a word. George Bush wouldn't even look at that dude at that funeral. Walked right past him. Didn't even acknowledge him. That's two white dudes. Obama sitting up there kikiing with this nigga. But y'all don't like when somebody tell the truth. See, they say pick a side. I'm gonna pick a side. It's called the truth. And that's the only side. And guys like Tatum, they want you to think they picking the truth, but you can't serve two masters, buddy. You can't praise God and raise hell. You can't do that, Tatum. So the guy you praise, he don't already posted images of himself on social media in the image of God. That should let you know right there what time it is. The fact that all of y'all didn't immediately, that wasn't the final straw, lets me know what type of time y'all on. Period. You let a man lie right to your face and you don't have no criticism of him. But you'll come on the internet every day and criticize Nolan Wells' family. Donald Trump told y'all, no more wars. I'm the president of no wars. What the fuck is we doing right now? Oil price is high. Gas price is high. It's not going to be the same again. The dollar's going down. People losing jobs. Where's your smoke? He told y'all no more wars. What's the first thing he come in the office and do the second time? Go right back to war. But y'all don't want to tell the truth. You don't never want to get in the ring with me. You never want to get in the arena with me, Tatum. I'm different, nigga. I'm cut from a whole different cloth, nigga. And I know you're gonna hear this. I'm cut from a whole different cloth, bro. Bro, I swear to God, you don't want to get in there with me, boy. So it'll be a different niggas like you, Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith. Y'all niggas don't want no smoke with me, man. You might as well go ahead, pack it up, man. Jesse Lee Peterson, all y'all just go ahead, stay in your lane. Cause I'm telling you right now, you be like James, so you better back up out that water, man. This is not what you looking for, bro. Not no debate at all. I'm telling you this right now. Right? I'm telling you right now. And people say, oh, Ticket, well, you have to pick the lesser evil. No, you don't. You ain't got to pick evil at all. You kick all these motherfuckers. See, the American people had the power to fire all these demons. The American people had a power to fire all these demons. Y'all notice how the only time both sides come together is to kick out the dude that ain't on either side? That's the only time both sides come together. The Democrats and the Republicans will come together to kick out the independent. Yeah, they'll make sure that person who ain't pledged to either side, they'll make sure they get the fuck up out of here. They've done this for your entire history. Pete, why? Think about that. Think about that, y'all. You're never going to have peace and happiness with two-party system because you're going to have it all the way this way, all the way that way, right? One side going to be angry, one side going to be, it's never going to end. But notice how when only time they come together is to make that independent irrelevant. People, what I'm telling y'all now, it should be some requirements behind this shit. You shouldn't be able to be the president of the United States of America if you've never served in the military. Why? Because when you're making decisions on the military and people going to put their life on the line, you should know how that feels personally. Don't y'all think so? Don't y'all think so? People, what I'm telling y'all, man. Right? Lobbyists, all these other people should be illegal. Allowing these social media figures to get close to the president should be illegal. How the hell can a nigga on YouTube or a social media presence or be able to get close to the president of the United States to try to influence their mind on different positions? Are you crazy? See, I'm telling y'all the truth. They'll come in here, they'll sugarcoat this shit. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. And that's the honest to God truth. That's the only way you'll get true, honest transparency. That's the only way, bro. If you want the truth, You want honesty, you want integrity, morals, ethics, all these things I tell y'all about. That's the only way. Is to fire all these corrupt motherfuckers. I'm telling you this. Look at Eric Swalwell. He was about to win the governorship of California, Democrat, about to win the governorship of California. What happens, y'all? 5 women come out, accuse this man of sexual assault. What? But this is the judgment of the people. They're about to put that weasel in office. And people say, oh, well, that shit don't mean nothing. No, your character means something in a position of leadership. Who you are, how you treat people, your character, it means something. To whom much is given, much is required. Straight up. Right? Tatum showing y'all that he leans a hard way with his ideology and how he thinks already lets you know he can be impartial as a police officer. Your core ethics and principles of how you feel lead how you act. Right? Think about this now. So think about the psychology of what I just told y'all again. You have a grieving mother. You can see the pain. You can see the stress in this woman's eyes. When she smiled to try to, you know what I'm saying, come up out of that. Right? But you got a dude like this that will continue to try to put pressure on a woman that didn't ask him personally for anything. She asked the people that were there. Tatum has nothing to do with it. Right? He insinuates that they're trying to put a murder on these boys. They never said that. They never said that. Not the mother, not the father. Not, and then you think the mother and the father, if I was the mother and the father, I wouldn't trust any of them either. Do you not know where their mind state has to be right now? They've lost a son, bro. I don't think people really understand that shit. Like, the father, that nigga ain't trying to hear nothing, nigga. That man lost his son, bro. He not trying to hear no shit from you. And matter of fact, I would advise you to get that nigga 50 feet, Officer Tatum. Probably 100. That daddy ain't trying to hear from nobody, nigga. That man lost a son. The mama lost a son, and here you are playing games. These people ain't, I'm telling y'all, these people ain't right, bro. And then a woman tell you to leave her alone. She don't want nothing to do with you. And what you do, you keep bothering her. That's bothersome to me, Tatum. That woman told you, you put your own name out on the internet. Then you try to cast aspersions upon her. That woman asked you, she said she don't want nothing to do with you, period. You should have just left it alone. No, you want to keep it going, keep it going. You fucking with these people pain, man. Any day you want to smoke Tatum, you just let me know, dog. I ain't hard to find, nigga. At all. At all. Cause see, me and you, and I'm pretty sure Jason Whitlock and them gonna call you. Yo, don't fuck with Ticket, man, cause I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, cause Jason Whitlock, his ass ran too. See, they think Jason Whitlock's intelligent too, cause of the shit he say to them. He make them think, oh yeah, I criticized everybody else, so they can't do what I did wrong. Nah, nigga. We see what's up with you. Right? So, most deaf. Come on now. Tatum, what's up, dog? Everybody listening, nigga. Everybody listening, dog. Like, share, subscribe.
Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.